It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brian. This is Tech Therapy. This will be a bit of a rant video. I used to do a lot of videos like this back in the day. That's why the channel is called Tech Therapy. Something I want to get off my chest as I'm rocking like the wrinkled shirt. Just got done playing some Modern Warfare, the newer Modern Warfare, whatever the heck it is called. And I will tell you that as I'm playing this game, I was very excited for it. This isn't a review per se, but I'm bored. And I mean, I'm really bored with almost every new film, new game, and it's just boring. I don't know what to tell you. I'll share this with you. I've done these videos. Again, these are not scripted, obviously, by the way I'm speaking to you, but I just got done playing Modern Warfare with a buddy of mine. Shout out to Paulie. You guys know Paulie from back in the day, from the beginning of the channel. And we play COD, played for many years. And I've waited for Modern Warfare, this game in particular, since the 2019. And we're going to get into Call of Duty and gaming in general. But as I'm playing this game, and I know I've played this game before, and I've played this game for 20 years, it seems like. It is the same game, and you can tell me all the changes they've made. Get back into Modern Warfare in a second, but I'm going to spin back to something else. I was driving home from a little mini Thanksgiving vacation. Hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are ready for the holidays. And we were driving home, and my wife's like, you know, you want to watch something, have it on in the background? I'm like, sure. And she was driving, and she put on Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings, which I haven't seen in a while. No 4K HDR, on an iPad, barely watching it, and I was entranced by it. Now, I read those books when I was a kid. It's not like they surprised me, but what I'm trying to get at is when I was watching that, I was taken back to the wonderment of that piece of art, that content that was there. Every scene of that movie to me is almost perfect. The characters, the writing, the effects, even them not holding up as well compared to what we see now. And I'm thinking of like Avatar coming out in a few weeks or whenever that's coming out. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Is what are you excited for? I remember seeing Lord of the Rings in whatever year it was. I had like a bad knee. I was stuck up in these seats in the theater. I had to go to the bathroom, and I did not want to move. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta watch this. And again, saw that opening night back when that was the thing, midnight release. We'd see that with my uncle. Every movie we would see midnight release, not just the Star Wars, not just the re-release, but at the wonderment. And my question to you at 3 minutes in, when was the last time you experienced that? Now, if you're much younger, I am in my late 40s. I'm 48 years old. And I'm not talking about nostalgia. I'm not talking about Jaws. I'm not talking about The Exorcist or 2001 or The Shining. I'm talking about even early 2000s. When I watch a movie now, I'm thinking to myself, I was okay. Even something like Bullet Train, which I really enjoyed, thought that was really funny. I was like, yeah, man, that's great. Cool. I'm done. Where not that long ago, when I was in the theater, I would say to myself halfway through, I'm enjoying this. I can't wait to buy the Blu-ray. I can't wait to see this at home. I can't wait to play this on my surround sound. Now, here I am on this channel, and you guys have gotten to the channel lately. It's all been TVs and tech. The channel was never meant to be that. That's why it's called Brian's Tech Therapy, and I'll be getting back to more of these discussions. This is where my heart is, and this is a tech therapy video. So if you are new to the channel, I'm sorry this won't look like the others, but it does still hold true to technology. Technology, all the speakers, the TVs, the sound bars, the PCs, everything that we have, there needs to be content for you to actually enjoy it. Needs to be there. And as I'm watching Lord of the Rings, the trip just went by. And I kept thinking, oh man, this is where the cave troll jumps in. This is where Gandalf dies. Spoilers. and the emotion when he's like walking out of the cave and you hear the Enya in the background, and you loved all these characters in comparison to The Hobbit, which became like a bastardization video game of Lord of the Rings, where you could care less about the characters, didn't know who they were, didn't care one from the other. Lord of the Rings, you were just invested. 30 minutes in, 10 minutes in, you were invested. And my question to you again is, what do you, in terms of content, in terms of what you watch or listen to, music, movies, anything that makes you feel, where's the wonderment? You know, they'll always say in history, where were you when this happened? And typically that's a bad thing. Where were you when this JFK was shot or something like that? I don't go there. I think this way. Where were you when you saw Jurassic Park for the first time? I remember Jurassic Park, there weren't many trailers on it. And I had read that book from Michael Crichton. And even then, seeing not only the the dinosaurs for the first time, when he looks up at the Brachiosaurus or the Brontosaurus in the very beginning, he looks down over and he sees them. They looked real. And I remember just the wonderment. Like, oh my God. And that same year, you like Silence of the Lambs. You had these different, I don't know what to expect. And these are books I've read, and I still felt their performances. Everything felt new. Now, remakes and reboots and all that is not new. That's been happening since film started, since gaming started. But I sat in the last few months and said to myself, what am I really looking forward to? And one of them was this game. And campaign's excellent. Enjoyed that. Graphically, much better game. And even the beta I enjoyed. Excuse me. But since first-person shooters in the last year or so, we've had probably the worst run of them in a row, where every one of them is poised to jump in, whether it was a halfway finished Black Ops, which at the end of the day, you're back playing Nuketown, as you always are. And then there was, we couldn't wait for Battlefield. I was going back and playing Battlefield 4. And that game came out and was perhaps one of the worst launch games I have ever played. It still, to me, is unplayable. Probably because this launching of things that isn't complete is now become such commonplace with everything. TVs, firmware update. I'm not telling you things you don't know. But the point is, whatever, like say, Battlefield was trying to be, that team isn't there anymore. The group that made Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, that group's gone. And you can feel it. Now, when I go into COD and they decide to go back to Vanguard, and I'm thinking to myself, am I really going back to World War I, World War II? Like, where are we going? I think back to Titanfall. Vince Zampella, the creator of Call of Duty, who was fired after Modern Warfare 2. Not this one, but the Modern Warfare 2. He was unceremoniously fired. Vince Zampella, Jason West, fired the day after the game launched. It is a very interesting thing to read. He relaunches or starts a company called Respawn, which you guys know as some other battle royale. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, Titanfall was a launch title for the Xbox One, and the game was absolutely amazing. And it did have that unfinished feel in some ways, but there was no campaign. And we played the hell out of it. It was one of those games where the beta and the E3 vertical slice was exactly what the game was when you got it home. And that's one of the last games a group of my friends played, where multiplayer is so important. About 5 of us played that. Jetpacks, wall running, the maps were amazing. I'm jumping up, parachuting down, things I had never done before in a game. And then Call of Duty copied that game and created Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinity War, all in a couple years. Respawn does Titanfall 2, one of the best campaigns I've ever played, and that game was absolutely amazing. And now that game was sacrificed between Battlefield 1 and I think the Modern Warfare remaster. Again, a remaster. By the time that game came out, people were so sick of jetpacks because they'd been oversaturated, not because of Titanfall, but because of the other big games, that we really wanted boots on the ground. And I think about that in terms of marketing. Boots on the ground. I'm going to give you boots on the ground. I've had boots on the ground since Atari. And that was a feature you were giving back to me. It wasn't boots on the ground with any new movement or any real, other than sliding, which I've been doing for years, and dolphin diving, done that in Black Ops, did that years ago. You're making me feel like I'm getting something special, which I've had already. And these new features are this. These new features are that. So I watched the rest of the world want boots on the ground so badly. And I watched Titanfall just die. And now is, I'll put it up on the screen. I don't even play it. But now is a Fortnite Battle Royale type game. It's actually very popular. That was supposed to be Titanfall 3. And now I was playing that game on PC. I have a new graphics card. And was playing Titanfall. And there was that wonderment. There was that jumping out of a Titan, jumping off of a wall, getting a triple kill, jumping back into the Titan. And even as I'm playing this evening, all I could tell my buddy was, I'm still getting shot in the back. And I'm good at these games. I'm having good games, and I'm bored. Modern Warfare, to me, I couldn't wait for it. And I find myself, it's not really a review of the game. It could just be me. 2 or 3 games in, I'm ready to put it down. I'm already bored of it. Am I bored of multiplayer games? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think so. But for me, I'm playing it. I'm playing well and I'm bored. That's a bad sign. It's not just like you're frustrating and you're getting killed. There's campers. All that stuff is still here. But seeing what they've done with this game, excuse me, the convoluted perks and weapons and upgrading your stuff, I don't remember that being an issue. Why are you fixing things that aren't the problem? Why are you fixing where I don't have my perks? I'm having an OLED. Why are you putting HUDs all over the screen to let me know the perks that I have now? Me picking my perks in my classes was not something I remember anybody really complaining about. What people complained about was immersion, destructible environments, campers, same gameplay. Again, no immersion in Battlefield. I remember jumping through windows, even Battlefield 1 and even the broken Battlefield 5. We were talking about being across the map and popping and jumping, going in the water, going under the water. In this game, you give me water and a couple of the maps where everybody knows I'm in the water. Boots on the ground is now a... Oh, thank God you have that. Look at Halo. No Slayer. Look at Battlefield. No team deathmatch. No domination. No scoreboard. Now, I've covered all this in other videos. But where I'm talking to you in this tech therapy aspect, it's just me actually giving myself therapy and wondering what you think, is even as a YouTuber, as a content creator or influencer, whatever the hell I am, I don't want to make commercials. I love talking about technology, but the core of the channel is, even as I'm watching YouTube, it's less about that. It's more about TikTok type content. Quick, no meaning, get it done, say what you gotta say, on to the next one, intro, outro, link it. And I'm not watching that. So as I'm sitting here playing this game in the little bit of free time I have, that's not because I'm busy or busier than you. I think a lot of you guys my age can relate if you have kids or you have, you know, whatever you have going on. This is the time I have. That's why I looked so ruffled. I'm sitting here with one of my best friends. We've been friends for years, and it's not just about our friendship, but playing this game. I'm like, damn, this game is boring as can be. And as I think about the games that are coming up, excuse me, that I'm supposed to be excited about, Calypso Protocol. Awesome. The makers of Dead Space. Looks a lot like Dead Space. But I can't wait for it. Pre-ordered it, already installed it on the PC. Looking forward to the Dead Space remake. Got those on the PC. God of War, the sequel. Played a little bit of that. I'm sure it's excellent. But sequel, prequel. Halo was a disgrace to release that game in the state that you released it in. We had fun playing it for a month or so. No content, even though you have the Master Chief Collection right there. Give me some of those old maps. Here I am with Modern Warfare. I'd said that I should have said this to you too, but I said this among friends of mine, that when they did Vanguard, they immediately put in shipment. And I said, well, that's a cop-out. That shows your game is in really bad shape, that already you're bringing shipment out. And with Black Ops, you're already bringing Newtown. That's the go-to. If you're putting out a new album, you're not putting your remix of your last hits on there if you're not confident in your content. You're not confident in what you're bringing. So these maps come out. I like some of them. Other ones I can't stand. I can't stand the racing one where I'm in these different laboratory buildings and whatever. Just repetitive, I should say, like laboratories. Everything looks the same. And it's really not just the layout. It's the creativity, man. Like, I'm still in this box. White walls. And I see they have the battle pass. And again, it's a convoluted branching thing. And the map you release is Ship House or Shoot House. That's the map I'm sure a lot of you guys love. You love to grind on it. Then again, I might be alone. But I just played that map in your last game. Where's your original content? For me, a lot of these guns look the same, but it's the convoluted approach to why you are trying to create something that's not there. Lack of creativity. Every show is a remake or a revamp. You're going to redo The Crow? More superhero stuff. It's just, I don't know, but I'm bored. And I'm not just jaded or just getting old. I love this stuff. TVs and technology, yes, but the art of film and movies, animation. Looking forward to, oh my God, I don't know what this is going to be like. And then Avatar coming out. And I don't care about Avatar and it being like Fern Gully or basically cowboys and Indians or dances with wolves or whatever. I don't care about that. For me, something like Avatar came out so long ago. And am I really in touch with that story? The wonderment of the original film, whether the story was complex or not, maybe it was the 3D, it was a beautiful film. And even though it's fairly simple, so entertaining, do I care now? And why I bring up wonderment, the wow. When's the last time you felt that? When's the last time you felt that in a game? Now, I'm not saying it's not there. I'm not saying that I'm right or wrong. I'm asking you. When is the last time you played something or watched something and you're like, wow, wow. That's wow. Wow. Being somebody who collects 4K Blu-rays and movies, I'm now saying, am I really buying this film for the 5th time or the 6th time? Now, that's just double dipping. But for me, where's the new films that I see and I can't wait to buy? I love the new Batman. Did a review on Batman. I've watched it one more time. I'm not finding this stuff rewatchable. I'm not finding it good enough to say, I gotta see that again. Gotta watch that again. Something as random as The Gentleman, the Guy Ritchie film, I have that playing in the background. Sicario. Random movies like that I can watch kind of over and over. The original Pacific Rim. Interesting that that was an original IP when it came out, and that movie basically flopped until it was released in other regions. Nobody cared. It wasn't based on a cartoon or an anime. So everyone's like, what is this? So in many ways, we're to blame. It's what we view and consume. But as I'm looking forward to the games coming out, I'm looking at the original creator of Dead Space to save me with a Dead Space type game. A Dead Space remake. Reboot, remake. A Witcher 3 redo. Do you see where I'm going with it? I'm sure God of War is great. I bought it. But do I feel like I can't wait to play that? I can't wait to, I've done that already. And in this game, all I can think about is I'm still running around corners, still pop, 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 except now I can't pick my perks. The maps are, I don't know. Maybe it's not the game. Maybe it's just me. But I'm bored. And I will say this. I've always considered myself to be a TV nerd or a movie nerd, game nerd, technology nerd. And I've always said this proudly, that when you have that passion, it's always your birthday. It's always Christmas. It's always the holiday you celebrate. There's always something to look forward to. My uncle and I grew up, he's only a couple years older than me, Star Wars. Every year we'd go see this at midnight. We even saw the Harry Potters at midnight, the Lord of the Rings. And then I remember the first time I saw The Matrix. And then I remember seeing the Matrix sequels and not liking them nearly as much. To me, those are like Academy Award winner type films now compared to what we see now. And it's not because they don't look as good. It's not a political thing. A lot of people talk about, hey, I don't want to have that conversation. Is it the case? In some cases, yes, it is. But it's just not imaginative. There's no creativity. There's no, I hope that character makes it. And even in proven franchises, Tom Cruise and, what's it called? Mission Impossible. I remember watching that in 2000 with the John Woo, Mission Impossible 2. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Then I saw the other one, and yeah, they're good. Don't get me wrong. But the fact is, let's just say this. Top Gun is like one of the best-selling movies of all time. The sequel. And I promise you, if you really could ask Tom Cruise if he really wanted to make a sequel of that, I've heard him say over the years he wanted to. That guy's an artist. He doesn't want to make those same films. He wants to do other things. They don't want to keep doing Rocky 9. They don't want to. And when we were kids, at least when I was a kid, sequels were typically 1, 2, 3. For me, the freaking Phantom Menace and those other movies that came out in 2000 compared to what we have now. And I'll prove it. Even nostalgia. People hated Hayden Christensen as Anakin. Couldn't wait to see him back. Couldn't wait to see him back. Now, I was there for those movies. I saw those in midnight years ago. And now this show comes out, which I thought was terrible. But you couldn't wait to see him. That's how bad it is. You couldn't wait to see this guy you didn't like back then. The writing was terrible. I get it. Wooden performance and everything. But compared to what we have now, at least those films, whether you like them or not, they tried to do something different. They were prequels. They tried to do something that wasn't done. There wasn't a bunch of TIE fighters in those 3 movies. The ships were silver. They were new. It was a time of growth. It was a time of wealth. All these different sounds. The films that take place 30 years later still have TIE fighters in them. And X-Wings. You haven't evolved? No one got in the room and said, let's draw this up. All right. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's why I'm bored. I mentioned Jurassic Park. The first film is one of the greatest films I've ever seen. And Wonderment. Everything. I still watch that film. And I watched the Domination, whatever the heck the last one was. I thought it was absolute trash. It was like Bourne Identity / Chris Pratt. You brought back the old characters, but they look older, but they have like perfect hair, and they're wearing the clothes are all brand new. And I'll even say this, where it's so boring. If you guys remember in Jurassic Park, when the young girl falls through the ceiling, and they pull her back up, and the raptor just misses her, right? That scene is done. That same, just missed you. Just missed it. Just missed the motorcycle. Just missed. That same thing is done 50 times in the new film. Or whatever film. Domination or whatever it is. Even getting that movie and forcing my family to watch it. Saying, look, you're going to watch this? I thought they'd like Wonder Woman. They liked the first one, second one, awful. But the point is, even they're not engaged. Even Pixar can't get it right. Disney can't get it right. Those animated films, I watch those forever. So back to my point with Jurassic Park. Here I am watching you borrow from, again, Bourne Identity, all these other films, Fast and the Furious. Are we bored of dinosaurs? Yeah, probably. But the fact is, same tropes, same characters in different franchises. How many more franchises are you going to put The Rock in? You have no other actors to bring in to play these characters. Same guy. It's Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, all these guys. I know I'm ranting. But for me to tell you how good this TV is and how good this Atmos is and my graphics card. Do you know what I have PCs for? I'm going to tell you. So in the graphics, my graphics card now is a 3090 Ti. A buddy of mine, I did an unboxing, didn't even put the video up. It was a 4090, and he sold me the 3090 Ti. What I love about PC gaming, just to prove to you, is with all that horsepower, I want to go back and play Far Cry 3. Even the Tomb Raider games they did that were a lot like Uncharted still had me going, wow. So my entire PC library is not when I was a kid. It's not Doom 1. It's even, like, probably the last game, even Doom 2016. I was like, wow, amazing you put that in this, you went in this direction. And then Doom Eternal, to me, was just got real cartoony, and there was me pushing blocks, and I'm in an arena flipping and flying, and I was like, whoa. So again, bigger, faster, stronger, more. Give me more of that. Give me less of this. Less story, more of that. So if I wanted this video here to succeed, or me succeed as a YouTuber, or whatever I am on here, I would have cut this video to 2 minutes, try to catch some meme out of it, throw my zoom. Please like and subscribe. Watch my next whatever. When I first watched YouTube, I was watching these long-form documentaries, true crime. I was watching content. I wanted to see what the creator had to say. The algorithm doesn't favor that. So we don't say anything. And it's not because we don't want to say anything racy or anything too crazy or anything that's too edgy. You know, oh, be careful. It's not that. When I make a video like this at 27 minutes, I have to half think, is anybody going to watch it? But as a creator, I have to also say to myself, I don't care. I feel this way. These consoles, all this stuff that we have, the content is boring. And I want to know when you guys are like, wow. So, a buddy of mine said James Cameron is undefeated. And I agree. One of my favorite filmmakers. Long time since he made a movie. I don't really care about the Avatar universe. I'll see it. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you guys follow me. I remember with his movies, you know, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, The Abyss. Abyss was great. Nothing like that now. True Lies. That dude's whole... I was watching the original RoboCop the other day. You can't make that movie today. And I even saw a video where it showed the Ed 109 or 209 robot at 60 FPS, sped up. And I was like, no, I like it better moving that way. That's gone. Everything's shiny. Everything's new. Nothing is, even if you look again, go back to Jurassic Park. I'll tell you this. With Jurassic Park, watch the first one. Watch when John Hammond is in the trailer in the very beginning and he's popping the champagne for the two doctors. That cabin, that wherever they're in, looks so lived in. Think of a movie like Seven. When you're watching the 4K Blu-ray, look at the room. When you watch The Thing, look in the background. Look at the way they put old video games and old board games and beer bottles. And then watch the new one when Laura Dern goes back. Who Laura Dern has like makeup on and make her look so fake. I feel bad. Let her just be her age. And this dude, Sam Neill, or you know, my boy from Event Horizon's got like the white beard, but his hair's all perfect and his clothes are brand new. The room he's in looks like they just bought it. Like you literally went to Pier 1 or wherever store in Bed Bath & Beyond and just made that look new. So you couldn't be bothered to just make the dude's clothes look old? You couldn't go to a consignment shop to show me what that guy would wear for real? I know this is nitpicking, but I'm talking about immersion. I'm talking about getting lost. in art, getting lost in movies. One of my favorite films, you know, like Matrix, it's this reboot, and I'm like, wow, just that's all you got? Something like John Wick, what a hit. What an original hit. Let's do 9 of them. What are the stakes in that? Not gonna kill him. You're gonna kill Mission Impossible, the main character? You're not going to. Where are the stakes? One of my favorite old movies is To Live and Die in LA. If you've never seen that movie, one of the best car chases in history, halfway through, something happens to the main character where you're like, that just happened? Now I could care less if the main character, what their name is. My comparison of The Hobbit, that group, by the time you get to that third film, and Frodo looks over at him, and he's all damaged, and he kind of smirks at him like it's going to be okay. Dude, I was like, Now I'm watching, you know, what's the Baldemir getting shot with the arrows. I don't know the names of any of the group in The Hobbit. I remember watching that in the theater, and we were watching, it was even in the 60 frames per second, I think it was. I'm watching these dudes jump around in the river in the barrels. And my wife goes, what the hell are we watching? I said, now you think as a gamer that I would love that. You think I'd love animation like that. I'd love more CG. No. And it's not the old practical effect thing that makes you say, well, I want to go back to American Werewolf in London. I loved Ready Player One. You have to create a world. You have to have some writing. So, and even though Ready Player One was just nostalgia, it was cleverly done. Now, would a sequel work? Probably not. So 32 minutes in, I will release this video. There will be no editing. I don't need to edit it. Obviously, I don't have a script. It's just me out here. This is what I've always done on this platform. I'm not even in the camera, like off to the side. This is the discussions I've had. And this is a tech therapy video, meaning I don't know what the answer is. But the wonderment is gone. And this game that's burning into my screen right now is proof of it. I like the campaign. The campaign is still a reboot of the original Modern Warfare. Still good. Graphically, fine. Game's cool. The multiplayer, again, you thought by taking my perks and making them hard to get into and branching them all off and making me grind. I remember back in the day just getting my number of headshots and getting my camos. But that wasn't the problem with the game, in my opinion. I don't remember anybody saying, hey, man, I hate having perks. Let me get them as like, oh, no, bro, you got to figure it out. You're right. Maybe I do have to figure it out. All I know is that the game's brand new. I'm already playing Ship House or Shoot House after a month. Game released. Let me just say this. The game released and already at 55, I was done. My XP counted to nothing. Oh, no, wait for the battle pass. Wait till next year. Next year, they're going to drop this. Next year, these consoles, you'll see an original title. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. And I'll end with this. The promise of tomorrow. The promise of... I'll talk about this quickly with the consoles. Is... We had a discussion that these consoles were going to do 4K 60, 4K 120, 8K. They can't do 4K 30. Legit native 4K 30. Everything is a promise. Everything is that gimmick of, hey, wait till we have this content or that content. The consoles are great. I like them both. Don't get me wrong. PC gaming is where it is really expensive, but once you get the right equipment, you can do whatever you want. We can get into those videos as well. But I want to do videos where I go do some PC classic gaming and more of tech therapy videos and more TV videos and comparisons. I've done that stuff for years. I've been on YouTube for 6 years, almost 7 years. And the larger the channel gets, the more you can't be real. the more you can't speak candidly. This video might get 50 views in comparison to my other videos, and that's kind of the issue as I wrap all this up. Are you making what you think people want or what you have to make? Do I want to do 10 more comparison videos? Everyone does them now. People are even doing the Best Buy videos that I did years ago. But speaking about how we are and what isn't there is what this video is about, is the lack of wonderment, the wow factor, not just in technology. Guys, we're already at 4K, HDR. The TVs are incrementally better. We already have Atmos. We're at these places now where things are a little bit better. But the content is miles worse than it was. Miles worse. And I don't see that improving. So as I'm sitting here with 100+ games on my PC, half of them are at least 8 years old or 6 years old. I'm dying to play Far Cry, BioShock. These aren't games from my childhood. They were just original. Far Cry 3 was not the first game in that franchise, but it was the first game to put that narrative, to have the villain. And then they just kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. BioShock. These games, taking chances. It's gone. And that's it. 36 minutes. I have no answer for you, but let me know what you think. If you're a community member of this channel, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you know. YouTube for me has always been this. It's always been sharing these feelings. I'll still be doing TVs and everything else, but it gets to be where as a creator, and I can do a video on this too, and I plan on doing it, the life of a smaller YouTube channel. You start feeling like you can only make what you think will do well. And then you're actually part of the problem. This game, to me, is probably fine, but it's boring. And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but I feel that way about a lot of movies, music, almost every piece of content out there. The passion's gone. The love is gone. I don't know how you guys feel, but let me know in the comments. Love you guys. One of the longest videos I've done in a long time, and that's okay. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the comments. Love you guys. Take care.
There can be only one.